fight begins. That's the focus of tonight's angle. All right, last night wasn't a Democrat wipeout of Republicans so much as a socialist wipeout of the Democrat Party.
The future is in our hands. My friends, we have toppled a political dynasty. I wish Andrew Cuomo only the best in private life, but let tonight be the final time I utter his name as we turn the page on a politics that abandons the many and answers only to the few.
Doesn't it sound so appealing? Appealing to voters who were either not born here or who were taught to resent American history and our way of life? And of course, social media snippets can make socialism seem so cool. It can make communism seem doable. Disaffected minorities and the proletariat will finally get their due.
Speak of Yemeni bodega owners and Mexican abuelas, Senegalese taxi drivers and Uzbek nurses, Trinidadian line cooks and Ethiopian aunties. This city is your city, and this democracy is yours too.
Oh, how sweet. But peel back the onion, and Mamdani is just another seething leftist, acting out on his messianic mission of soaking the rich and hating on Trump.
We will usher in a generation of change. And if we embrace this brave new course, rather than fleeing from it, we can respond to oligarchy and authoritarianism with the strength it fears, not the appeasement it craves. If anyone can show a nation betrayed by Donald Trump how to defeat him, it is the city that gave rise to him. This is not only how we stop Trump, it's how we stop the next one. So Donald Trump, since I know you're watching, I have 4 words for you. Turn the volume up.
Weird. Doesn't sound like a mayor-elect. He sounded like he was pretending that he, not Kamala, was running against Trump last year.
We will hold bad landlords to account because the Donald Trumps of our city have grown far too comfortable taking advantage of their tenants. We will put an end to the culture of corruption that has allowed billionaires like Trump to evade taxation and exploit tax breaks.
Now, where did Mr. Genial, Mr. Approachable go? We told you not to believe his smiling socialist routine.
I think the Mamdani that we saw on the campaign trail, who was a lot more calm, who was a lot warmer, who was a lot more embracing, was not present in that speech. Its tone was sharp. I think he was using the microphone in a way that he was almost yelling. I felt like there was a little bit of a character switch here.
Exactly. The bully pulpit had too much bully. And in practical terms, it's just unworkable.
You're talking about a rent freeze, you're talking about free buses, you're talking about free childcare. Can you do that without raising taxes?
I think you can do that, and I think you have to raise taxes on the top 1% of New Yorkers who make more than $1 million a year, and you do that by raising taxes by them 2%. And then you also increase the corporate tax of New York State to match that of New Jersey. So that takes us from about 7.25 to about 11.5%, which is what we see in New Jersey. These things together raise about $9 billion, which more than pays for our economic agenda and also starts to Trump-proof our city.
Trump-proof. Spoken by a man, by the way, who has never had to make a payroll, but neither had AOC. And look at her, the leader of the modern-day Democrat Party. She's giving everyone their marching orders.
I think the message that sends is that the Democratic Party cannot last much longer by denying the future, by trying to undercut our young, by trying to undercut a next generation of diverse and upcoming Democrats that have the parties, the actual party, our actual electorate and voters support.
Now, this is a good time to remember just how far to the left the Democrats have moved.
We know big government does not have all the answers. We know there's not a program for every problem.
The American people don't expect government to solve every problem.
We will prove that there is no problem too large for government to solve and no concern too small for it to care about.
Translation, watch your wallet, because he and AOC are coming for it in a supercharged nanny state that will tell you what to do, when to do it, and how much it will cost. And establishment Democrats, they're taking orders too. Submit to the socialists or move aside. As usual, Donald Trump perfectly captured what's at stake going forward.
I don't think it was good for Republicans. I don't think it was good. I'm not sure it was good for anybody.
After last night's results, the decision facing all Americans could not be more clear. We have a choice between communism and common sense.
Well, the problem is most Americans don't even really know what communism is. They're not really taught it in schools. Instead, they're taught that capitalism begets corruption. And they're taught, of course, that resistance is cool, agitating is noble, and that no immigrant is illegal. Ignorance which Mamdani exploited all the way to victory.
New York will remain a city of immigrants, a city built by immigrants, powered by immigrants, and as of tonight, led by an immigrant. So hear me, President Trump, when I say this. To get to any of us, you will have to get through all of us.
Yeah, he's basically calling for an ongoing insurrection against ICE there. The crime of interference with federal law enforcement, encouraging rioting. This is today's Democrat Party. So moderate Democrats who think it's a mistake to keep the government closed still, they have no power. And any moderate Democrats who worried about keeping Jay Jones on the ticket in Virginia for that AG position, they were just ignored. It's the hard left's party to run as they wish now. And you either line up behind their agenda or you're going to get booed off the stage at the 2028 convention, if you're even invited at all. Going forward, expect more government shutdowns, and if they take the House, more impeachment inquiries and anti-Trump investigations, more protections for the trans agenda, and mass defiance of deportations. So if you don't want this, if you believe that a fair market is the best way to generate prosperity for the most people, and if you believe in entrepreneurship and the goodness of American history, if you believe that immigration laws matter, if you believe that girls are girls and boys are boys, then you have to join the Republican Party, because no one in this Democrat Party will stand for you. So at this point, there is no resistance to the left in the Democrat Party at all. And as for the other Democrat winners like Spanberger in Virginia, who haven't maybe yet fully embraced socialism, well, they were just too chicken to stand up to the left flank, even when it meant siding with someone like murder texter Jay Jones. The Democrat leaders, they should have done more, right? They could have done more to cultivate patriotic, pro-business, pro-American candidates who just appeal to normal people. But they were too afraid. And now they're stuck. As for Zoran's affordability pitch, affordability is exactly what President Trump is focused on. That's why he's trying to use tariffs to improve the fiscal situation in the U.S. so we can have more jobs here, make more stuff here, and get lower interest rates here. And by the way, his drill, baby, drill is all about making energy more affordable, and it has. But it's time Congress also does its part. Passing the big, beautiful bill, that's not enough. We need to be as aggressive as the Democrat socialists are on all fronts. And until one Republican can convince me tonight that the Democrats won't dump the filibuster the first chance they get, I think they need to seriously consider listening to Trump and doing it first. Otherwise, Republicans will be playing a very dangerous waiting game, perpetually on the defensive, picked off one by smiling socialists who rule like Soviet tyrants. And that is the angle.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Welcome to New York, and I'd like to welcome our new sponsor, U-Haul. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani has been elected the mayor of New York City. You know, I never thought I'd be reminiscing about the good old days when Son of Sam was my dog walker. I haven't seen this many depressed New Yorkers since it got too chilly for me to wear bike shorts. Seriously, I haven't seen this many terrified citizens since Joy Behar attacked the Empire State Building. The fear of crime has gotten so bad, the Statue of Liberty just bought a rape whistle. You can tell Andrew Cuomo's depressed about his humiliating loss to Mamdani. You know, maybe it's time for him to retire. Yeah. I know a few rest homes with plenty of vacancy. In other news, a woman who ordered medicine by mail got a box of human fingers instead. In a related story, Nancy Pelosi asked, "Where are my replacement fingers?" Speaking of Pelosi, sources say she will not seek re-election in 2026, although her face will. And on Monday, she said President Trump is, quote, "the worst thing on the face of the earth." What's the second worst thing on earth, according to Pelosi? You guessed it, mirrors. Kamala Harris had a busy weekend in California. On Saturday, she attended the Yes on 50 rally, and afterwards, she attended a Yes on 40s rally. What a weird backdrop. The government shutdown has entered its 36th day, breaking the record as the longest ever. Things have gotten so bad, people are trying to buy food with their tramp stamps. Not even possible. And finally, a fourth Disney World guest was found dead this month. Police, however, are questioning the newest Disney employee. Small world is getting smaller. All right. So what does Zoran's victory mean? Is it an omen of a woke future or a ghost of a woke past? True, he really is the hangover from a decade of heinous ideas where repeat criminals are the victims, men can be women, and brain damage is considered a plus. But in this election, the votes cast were over 90% Democrat. That's one-party rule, a monopoly, which means it was a choice between bad and worse because there is no counterpoint to balance against extremism, just left and leftier. And really, it says something that the guy who sicked a deadly virus on old people was considered the good guy. But it seems Zoran was handpicked. By who? Who knows? We know it wasn't for his resume. He didn't have one. He's a hard-left socialist with no managerial background, a disdain for capitalism and Jews. He's no different than a trust fund protester, except with a PR team and Soros's credit card. He's not even qualified to be my pool boy. Definitely not strong enough to lift me. And what's his connection to the city? Ask him what he loves most about New York. He'll probably say diversity. The fact that you can dine in Chinatown or Little Italy, then get mugged in 80 different languages. But diversity is not what made New York great. It's one result of the system that enabled it. Capitalism, trade, industry, which attracts people like my natural musk on a hot subway. But for leftists like Zoran, they only see the goals, not the systems. If he had been Christian who celebrated Christmas, he might never ever connect that those gifts under the tree were there because of his parents' hard work. Nope, to him, the free stuff just appears. In this case, Santa is socialism and the taxpayers are the elves. But New York isn't prosperous because it's left-wing. It's left-wing because it's prosperous, since wealth can absorb the burden of bad ideas. Republicans know this. That's why they prefer systems over goals and why they got the hell out of New York. Sure, you can admire the city for its open-minded energy. You can be a vegan with a neck tat, a gluten-free drag queen, a rapper aggressively handing out mixtapes, and nobody bats an eye. But the irony is you actually need the systems like capitalism and law and order to maintain such freedom. Without it, well, history has an answer. Lawless countries like Nicaragua or Chile in the 1970s ushered in brutal police states after widespread criminality. That's where it leads. So where does it lead here? Well, you'll find out sooner than you think. The next left-wing demonstration against the police will tell you everything. Violence erupts, is romanticized by its liberal leaders, then it spreads nationwide. The fact is, we've already seen this movie before, and we know how it ends. Old Yeller has a happier ending. One police controversy, an ICE arrest, a looter roughed up, and the mayor will make the worst even worse. Remember Minneapolis after George Floyd? They had a tragically incompetent woke mayor, and the city went downhill faster than an 18-wheeler hauling the audience to the View. The city can handle a left-wing mayor, but only if no other crisis arrives. But they're banking on a crisis, and we know which way Zoran will go the moment it's the law versus the lawless. There will be no calm, resolute voice. There will be cheering. Meanwhile, real tragedies, the next rape by an illegal who will be released back on the streets, or the next stabbing by a homeless guy on his first free bus ride, that'll go unnoticed, as his allies in the mainstream media will pretend everything's fine. So step 1 is the election, step 2 is the incident, and step 3 is call the movers. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He's a fan of Spotted Dick and the dessert. Host of Piers Morgan Uncensored, Piers Morgan.
Thank you.
His comedy shows have a 2-laugh maximum. Comedian Jeff Dye.
That's not true.
They say the camera adds 10 pounds, so now she's 13 pounds. New York Times bestselling author, Fox News favorite actor. And he's put more old ladies to bed than relaxed him. Former NWA World Champion, host of Planet Tyrus podcast, Tyrus. Why is it you're always on after an American election, Piers, and we have to ask for words of optimism from somebody from a country we beat 250 years ago?
Well, I would like to say that a big thank you, actually, because until yesterday, we had the worst mayor in the world.
That's true.
In London.
That is...
can't. But America, well, New York just went, hold my beer.
Yeah.
And in comes Mamdani. I mean, this is going to be an absolutely priceless thing to watch. Because Mamdani has never run a Welk stool. You familiar with Welk stools, jelly deals, that kind of stuff? He's never run anything.
Yeah.
He's in his 30s. He's got zero experience. But what he's brilliant, he's a brilliant politician. He's a brilliant promiser of great things to come. He's the promised land in many ways. The problem is he will not be able to deliver on any of these promises. Socialism does not work. It never works anywhere. It's never going to work anywhere. And so he's going to start letting down people very quickly. And it will become a referendum, I suspect, for the Democrats. I mean, it's you look at yesterday, 2 moderates won, and then he won in New York. And you've got this split in the party between the really hard progressive left and the sort of more moderate types. You talked about is woke dead. I've written a book literally called Woke is Dead. And it's more of an aspiration because it's still there and you're seeing it in Mamdani in all its infamous glory. But I think the ideology behind him and behind wokeism is dead, and it's going to come back and haunt him and the party because you just can't... Everything he says, all right, it sounds great, it looks great, he dances, he does all these things, he tells all these jokes, but none of it can work.
Jeff, you often let people down as well.
Hey, no, I don't. That's not true. I'm a good man.
What's your take on this?
I agree with Piers Morgan.
Thank you. Thank you.
You have a minute left.
You'll never be back on the show if you keep saying this.
I'm kidding.
This controversial
I don't agree with you at all. I got a lot to say about this Bo Bonzappadami guy.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've been too negative on here lately, so it's time that I start contributing positively.
Awesome.
If this is the new guy in New York City, I've come up with some marketing for New York City,
Right.
Tell me if you guys like these. New York City, the big government subsidized apple. Pretty good, pretty good. I need one of those. New York City, the city that never sleeps. How could you with all these calls to prayer? I got another one. New York City, finally the Mecca of Mecca. Pretty good?
You scored a direct hit with the second one. Third one, not bad. First one, terrible.
Well, I think I've always been, no offense to New York City, I've always been pretty critical of it and pretty hard of it. I live in California, big fan of Texas and Florida and Arizona. I've been pretty critical of New York. I think almost this is kind of what you get in a lot of ways.
It's like if we don't move, we deserve what we get. That's how I feel.
A socialist you know, a Muslim is going to run a town full of socialist Muslims. That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, it's kind of scary, Kat. You know what's funny? I know this is, I saw your text this morning, but I just heard from Dana that Zoran appointed an all-female transition team. This was like, and I thought to myself,
really? Well, now I support him.
Yes.
Yes.
But when I heard it, I thought we were over that sort of announcement. Like, I haven't heard that since like 2023. Yeah. Well, I've appointed an all-female squad.
Right.
You know?
So so at least I know it'll be other women stealing my money.
Yes, yes. But I hope there's at least a couple of women there with penises.
Yes.
Anyway,
fair.
You are not happy.
No, of course not.
Because you're a libertarian. Are you going to stay in this city?
I don't know if I can. At a certain point, it's just enough already. I mean, if he's able to enact any of this, which the only hope is that he can't, right? I mean, it's obviously it can't work out the way that he says it will. Like Piers said, a lot of it sounds very good. Free childcare. Yes, childcare is very expensive. I'm currently paying for some. But he said he's going to do free, high-quality childcare.
No, that's not.
That is not how it works.
Yes.
I would never send my baby to government childcare. You'll come back, he'll be smoking crack.
Yes. There's no such.
There's no, how could you possibly think it would work? Like, have you ever been to the DMV?
Yeah.
Imagine how that worked. To be like, sorry, man, but you need to come back and pick up your baby during normal business hours.
Yes, exactly. Oh, we don't know where we left your baby.
Yeah, they'll be like, I'm sorry.
That was Parcheesi's.
They'll say, oh, we don't have any record here. And, you wind up arrested. It's just, it's ridiculous. These things do not work. But he tapped into something. Mm-hmm. He tapped into, I care about affordability. Mm-hmm. I care about, and then the only other alternative was a serial predatory pervert who probably killed your grandma. So it's a horrible thing. Mm-hmm. And he said the most disturbing thing that any politician could ever say, which is that there's no problem too big for the government and no problem that's too small for the government to counterpoint. Yes, there bro.
Yeah.
Yes, there absolutely is. That's just deeply incorrect and wrong.
It is what Kat is saying, and what I mentioned it in the monologue, Tyrus, you're dealing with a 34-year-old guy with no world experience.
Right.
Who believes that there is such thing as government-sponsored childcare that's going to be great. High quality.
Sure.
That's why Kat said bro, because he's only 34.
Yeah. But I'm sorry. I kind of feel like New York, you get what you get.
Yeah.
That's the best you could put forward. Mandani didn't beat anyone.
Yeah.
He didn't, the Republican guy was still wearing a red beret.
Yeah.
How long has Prince been gone? That was the best Republican foot forward. A disgraced governor he only won by 13.
Yeah.
And you just there's 8 million people between here and Times Square
who didn't vote.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, this wasn't a referendum on New York. This is no one gives a in New York. They don't care who the mayor is. They had a mayor who was law and order. Now we got to get rid of him. He likes the police too much.
Yeah.
Now they're going to have a mayor in who says high quality childcare
and no police.
Yeah. There's another word for that. It's called trafficking.
Yeah,
so no one is going to leave their child with an underpaid, angry person. You can just leave them with your wife. But I'm just saying, the wives are underappreciated, right, husbands? Yeah. But I'm just saying, when you look at four guys in this audience could have been better candidates and would have gave him a tougher fight. Mm-hmm. But no one bothered. So I'm
sitting there. A compliment.
Yeah.
No, it was actually four very bright guys here. Thanks for helping me get in the building. The door was pushed and they pulled. But it just goes back to the point. When you don't put anything forward, this is what you get.
Yeah.
If he would have had anyone to challenge him with any merit, any integrity, anyone.
How did he actually get past the post on Twitter, as it was then, about the NYPD being a bunch of
homophobic, that was accepted.
Because virtue signaling,
how is that not disqualifying?
We literally, you can say it's not the Gary Hart days where he had a almost affair, and he had to step out of the presidency. Now you can say and do whatever you want, because as long as it's in line with the beliefs of the people who represent you, it's all good.
That was incredible.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.